Hello, hello, hello. This is Freo and welcome back to a park tour. Not just any park, we're touring a very British park by Moomin Littlesocks. The parks I'm touring in this series, if you want, are parks that inspired me when I just started Planko. And a very British park was the first park I saw on YouTube and pointed me towards what I could do with this game. So I've decided now with Planko 2 coming to tour the parks that inspired me. And I've asked the creators if they wanted to join me on the stream to have a conversation about the park, about how they build, in Moomin's case, about YouTube as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this interview with Moomin Littlesocks. The goal of this mini series, I would almost call it, is like I'm looking at parks, Planko 1 parks with Planko 2 coming. I'm looking at Planko 1 parks that that inspired me to play Planko and to oh, Dolka's in as well. That inspired me to play Planko, and I think, if I remember correctly, because I haven't been playing Planko for too long. It's the end of... No, the beginning of 2002 or the end of 2001 that I bought Planko. So I think when this series was releasing, I think I saw what's the first time I watched and binged a YouTube series.
Yeah, I think I started this in 2021-ish.
Yeah, so that kind of... I think I might have been in for the last episodes and then watched back all the stuff. So yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so this is a perfect park to start the series with, because this was the first park I saw by somebody that inspired me. And I was thinking, and I'm gonna talk a bit about why specifically this park inspired me, but that's... and I think also inspires others, so we're gonna dive in for that too. But I first...
Too kind.
So Captain Switzer is in, hello. And Flo as well, hello. Switzer sent me one question, and I read it, and I was struck by that question. Like, I need to ask that at the start of the stream.
Oh goodness!
I think one of the most important questions that can get this stream going. Captain Switzer asked this: Nutella, with or without butter?
With
Butter. There you have it.
there you go. Savage, I know.
Yeah, exactly. We just call it chocolate paste here in the Netherlands.
Very imaginative.
Oh, Winder says, "What is wrong with you?" So.
Oh, so much, Winder, so much. But you're one to talk.
Okay, so you know what? First, tell me what because I've watched a little bit of the series back, and you mentioned this was your first park that you finished.
Yes.
But, and this ties into a question that Firefly sent me, is this the first thing you ever built in Planko? What did you do before this?
No, so I did lots. I've been playing the game since release, and basically what the impetus behind this was, I kept trying to build parks, and what I really wanted was to have a park that I'd built that I could then go in and manage, because that's something that I'd never really done in the game, is like actual park management, and then like go in and like do ride updates and like retheme stuff and like that kind of aspect. But so that was my idea. I wanted to create a small British park that I could then use for that. But then when I started building it, I decided to like share my work, and then it just suddenly did very well. And I never got to do the thing I was trying to do in the first place, but because it just kind of snowballed, and
it blew up.
I just suddenly became a YouTuber out of nowhere, and the rest is history, I suppose.
Because when you started the park, and I think I've watched the first episode back and the last and the tour back. When you started, you had less than 100 subscribers.
Yes,
And when
I
you
did.
ended, it was 1,200 subscribers.
Yeah, I know, it's mad. I'm seeing
Great.
similar growth with Corvus as well at the moment. His channel's just going nuts, which is really nice to see.
He built one of my favorite coasters without him knowing that he did. But he rebuilt a coaster that's no longer there. It's
Yes, the one in his most recent episode.
Yeah, and Movie Park Germany one. But so here's a tip, Corvus. Go watch Corvus because he's really good. Really beautiful build.
Really, really good. I'm very jealous of how good he is, to be honest.
So let's just going down the road like a nice English country road.
Of course.
And one of the first things that I immediately stole for the build that inspired me to build. Well, I was inspired to build a build and I stole this as well. Was you made surroundings for the park.
Yeah, when I did it kind of felt natural to me. But that was a comment that I got like a lot, was people like, oh my God, I've never thought of actually building stuff outside of the theme park. But I certainly wasn't the first to do it. But people latched onto that. And I think it's so important. I've said it loads of times that by doing it, not only does it look great, it also really helps you in your mindset of like building the lore behind your park and like where it is, what it's doing, what the scale of the park is, and all that kind of stuff. I think helps you build.
Yeah, it's and it gives you something to look at when you're in the park. I don't know. It gives the park context. That's something.
Oh yeah, there's nothing worse than being at the top of a lift hill and you can just see nothing. Like it's just it's nice to see other stuff.
There's a few, and the exact amount of detail that you want. Just it's from the outside. You don't need.
Well, at this point, I was building this on my laptop, so I was very conscious of piece count.
Did that also influence the style you chose for the park?
100%, yeah. Okay. Very, very minimal. I think the whole park is like 17K or something like that.
Oh, we'll check that later. Oh, no, 17.5K. I remember from the video.
There we go.
So we're going down the road, and then we're going up to Worthington Farm. Because the council made the mistake.
Yes.
Like you ran out of letters. No.
I couldn't fit the S on, but there we go. But it kind of builds again that lore of saying, okay, well maybe there was a farm here first, and then that then became Worthington Farms. We'll go with that anyway. It sounds good.
Yeah. Well, you had your chat do a lot of influential stuff in that, like picking the names, and I think somebody made Worthington Farms with the lore.
Someone picked the name itself. Yeah. So they named all the rides and they named the park.
I mean, it's such a simple thing, but I tend to build parking lots with my parks too, and it just adds so much to a park.
Well, just going back to what we were saying about building stuff outside of the park, it's a great way to fill a very large amount of space, because I think it's something like the car park should be half the size of the park itself, something like that. So it's a huge amount of space.
Yeah. You came with that fact in the series already, and I checked. It's true. Efteling is like the big park here, and oh, that brings to me another question that Five Flag came up with. That's in real life, do you have a favorite park?
Well, we're going to come back to the fact that I hate sharing. Is I don't really go to theme parks. And
that's what I said to Firefly. I don't think he's going so much parks.
I've only ever been to 2 theme parks, like major theme parks, which is Pleasurewood Hills, which is in Norfolk, where I grew up, and Alton Towers I've been to a few times. That's it.
So it's mostly the building for you.
Yeah, I'm a sandbox builder. I love it, and it just so happened that the game that allowed us to do the most sandbox building was a theme park game. I'm certainly not against theme parks. I enjoy them, but I'm not a very sociable person anyway. So I enjoy creating worlds, essentially. That's why
I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. So there we go. Now you can hear your sultry voice a little bit better.
Oh, goodness. And to answer Lucky's question, a lot is wrong with me.
Coasters. Do you like coasters when you go on them? Or are you like, no, I'm fine
I
with...
do, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
coasters I'm fine with. Some flat rides are too intense for me. I just get sick. Or like the ones that spin around constantly.
Oh yeah, I heard that a lot from people.
Yeah.
So here we have, and that's also something I steal a lot from you, a integrated guest spawn point, being the guest services.
It's, again, is another thing that is very important to me, is making the arrival of the guests look fluid and natural, not just coming out of a hole in the terrain, because it just looks dreadful. And I really, really hope they change that in Blanco 2. And I know some people have been speculating about seeing them come off a coach, so hopefully they're going to do something.
They've already done that in Planet Zoo. They made a boat and a coach that is
cool.
a spawn point. So it's probably already... I think they're using Planet Zoo now for like a testing grounds also. But
yeah, sure. It makes sense that they're using Cobra 2 anyway.
So, so a lot of the choices are always because of your laptop. But do you prefer these like more simple parks?
Yeah, 100%. I love seeing people that do way too over-themed stuff, like Wix, who'll just do, as people mentioned, like 17k for one building. I love to see it, but it's not for me. I love simplicity, and as someone said the other day, it's monochrome. Moomin must love it, and it's like, yeah, I do. I love monochrome, very simple colors, very simple builds.
Yeah, and I think that's also the power of the series that you made, because I think a lot of people that were into Blanco or building Blanco were like, oh, you can make something good looking without spending hours on one building or building a roof out of just brackets like Rally and Wix.
Yeah.
Talking about Wix, he's gonna do an episode with me too.
Oh, amazing. That's good to hear. But yeah, no, you're completely right. I think it was a nice way of also showing fairly new players that they didn't have to be intimidated by going all out and going nuts with every single build, and that it is possible to do it in a very simple way. Because I think my builds are very simple. I'm not a fantastic builder. I just can pull off very good, realistic builds.
Well, I think there's nothing wrong with that. That's a build style. That's not so. Mainly, that's details where they really matter. Thank you, Firefly. That's a great way of saying.
Beautifully put.
Yeah, because it's effective. It works. This park works.
Yeah, it feels real to me.
Yeah, I think in Rudder Valley, you even got better at it. That's
100%. Looking back at this now, this is dreadful compared to my current stuff. It's still good enough. But I'm happy to walk around it again.
Yeah. No, but as I said, it inspired me because I was like, oh, you can do this, and simple stuff. But I don't mean that derogatory. It's it's Planet Coaster doesn't have to be this super awfully complicated game that,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Flow, you can definitely do realism because I've seen it now and there's no going back.
Ooh, is that a little preview for Flow's part?
Definitely.
So we open up, and also because you kept it simple and not with lots of hills and stuff, and there's some nice sidelines here with all the coasters coming by. Yeah,
the height levels are very minimal, as you can see. Like you've got the height of where we are now, moving down the slope, even just I think that's like 1 or 2 meters down to the next section, and then likewise the same when you get to the top spin. It's just ever so slightly lifted, so it's nothing major, but just enough.
So we have a train. We'll write that at the end. We'll have a little rest on the train.
Of course.
I'm thinking, let's just start to the left. I always start to the left, so
left is best.
Yeah. A Vekoma boomerang.
Absolutely. I was very familiar with this. As I just mentioned, Pleasurewood Hills has, I think, the only boomerang in the UK called, well, it certainly was called Wipeout. I don't know what it's called now, but it was very much based on that.
If they're an early boomerang, they certainly wipe out your shoulders and stuff. So that's
Yes, the roll is really rough.
we have one in Walibi. It's the same damage to all your body parts.
Yes, yeah.
I do love this. It's simple, but just a little bit extra for that, right?
Yeah, just a nice little canopy.
And now if you're talking about details where details matters, the clock. Just the little clock in there.
Yeah,
to
just something.
So, what's it? Ginge says, really inspired me to build what I know from experience instead of trying to take on Disney and Universal style. Janie, hello, welcome in. We just saw an amazing park by you.
We did. Fantastic.
And that's Janie's first park, by the way. I need to emphasize that.
Yes.
It was great. But let's write the right, because I think we're about to...
Hello, Cheney.
So, yeah. And I've got more questions. Let me just get some questions in here before I forget them all while we chat along. The Smiling Oma. Don't know if you know her.
I do. Fantastic builder as well.
Yes. Send me a few questions.
Ooh.
Question for Moomin. Is the direction that you are now doing with YouTube the same as it was when you started? If not, can you elaborate if it was hard for you to adapt, change the direction, and any tips for YouTube you could share? Let me get a pen and paper, by the way, because I'm doing it.
Yeah, take notes. So, yes, definitely different. And there's been various points where I've had like certain revelations or realized stuff through my analytics, but it's like this battle constantly between what I want to make and what YouTube wants me to make, and finding that balance. So I'd go through stages of being like, I'm just going to continue doing park builds, but the amount of hours and time that goes into making a park build series is insane, and the viewership is poor in comparison to a video that I can put together in a day, like that whirly rig build video I did, and that gets tens of thousands of views. So it's frustrating when you're like, well, I really want the park stuff to get the views because that's what I put the most time into and what I enjoy and what my community enjoys. But the way that YouTube works is if I just do a clickbait video on Planet Coaster 2, that's what's going to sell. So it's a battle between that, really. But
I've really been resisting that, to be honest.
Yeah. So it's somewhere between those two where I don't want to be a sellout, because there are certain creators that are very active right now that have come back to Planet Coaster who what I think they're doing right now is toxic, and I don't want to be that, where they're just releasing content for the sake of content. They don't care about their viewership. They just want to get views, and even as far as releasing stuff that was under our NDA and getting away with it, which makes me so furious.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I don't want to be. So it's very, above anything else, I would rather have the support of my community and they enjoy the videos than be successful. Yeah. And that is the honest truth.
Breaking your NDA, maybe they won't notice or don't care, but it gives you risks to your relationship with a frontier.
Absolutely, yeah. It does. And
maybe can you tell me about... So you're making YouTube videos and stuff, and suddenly you get an email from Frontier. How does that work? Just as curiosity.
I mean, it was a weird feeling because obviously we've been waiting for Planko 2 for so long, and we've had speculation for so long. So yeah, the moment I got the email from the influencer manager was surreal, but very exciting. And what was more frustrating about the whole thing was I couldn't tell anybody. So...
No, you have to sit on it like a...
Exactly.
With you, I didn't realize, but I also know Wix a little bit better.
Yeah.
And he was suddenly finishing parks, and I was like, oh, it's because he's got a kid and he's losing time now, and he's moving to America. That's probably why it is. And then suddenly the news dropped, and I was like, oh,
that's why. Yeah. So no, that was interesting, and then we all got added to a Discord so that we could then see who else knew, and that's when we got irritated by certain creators, but I won't elaborate on that. But then we could then talk to each other about it, which was a relief. But then now we're under a new NDA about other stuff, so it's all just very overcomplicated and convoluted. So I've just resigned myself to just not thinking about it until.
No, and I'm not asking questions about what's coming and stuff, but just like I would be like if I get an email like let's say I had 1,200 subscribers or something, and I got that email and I was like, is this fake?
Yes, yeah, I know. There was a thought at one point. I was like, I could just be being scammed right now, but thankfully, no.
I hope from there I've noticed them breaking the NDA. Yeah, well,
no.
Let's
they,
just
unfortunately, they're very aware of it, and they've said that they're giving the creator the benefit of the doubt. It is very frustrating.
Let's keep it at that for now. We're not letting. Sorry, I'm swooping past the swooping seagull. It's also sitting nicely here. I think what this park does well and has done really smartly is it just got a blue and a light blue paint bucket, and that's your theming.
Yeah, I think I spoke about it in the episode, but well, the whole series. But the main concern to me the whole time was what would the park really do? Because it's so easy to get carried away with doing ride skins and various over-the-top theming. But then, unless you are Efteling or not even Alton Towers, because Alton Towers don't really go over the top. So we're talking the really big parts, Disney. You have to really think about what are they realistically going to do? What can they do in their workshops that are on site? But that's where I take things too far, and I'm very literal.
I think you would, yeah. Efteling is a Dutch trigger word. Don't get us started.
Okay, sorry.
No, but I think you would really love the Efteling.
Yes, I know I would.
But I just like. Sorry, I just like the seaside huts.
Yes. Well, again, it's just something that I know that a couple of work people could just put up really quickly. Just some old sheds, paint them blue, shove a door on the front, and there we go, job done.
Yeah, we have a park nearby that. It's really a kids park, but we took the kids there a few times in Billy Bird, and they all built everything themselves. It's hardly any theming, but it's the same idea. So I know.
Yeah, definitely.
And then another backstage. I think that's the other side of the car park.
Yes. Yeah, that's our staff entrance, staff room, warehouses, offices, stuff.
And do you do a lot of research? Did you do a lot of research, or were you like, nah, this probably feels right?
I think I do little bits. I like looking at stuff on Street View and on Google Maps just to see the kind of the layout of stuff and what kind of scale this size park would be working with. And it's probably a bit under what they would have, really. But yeah, no, I don't do too much. I do what feels right.
Okay. And then, where are these fish and chips? I wanted to go to one of my favorite areas, but just make sure I don't skip everything. Like, do English parks have fish and chip shops? It's
a very good question. I mean, I'm sure they must do, but I'm not the best person to ask. But I just know.
This is also a question for the chat. So there's a lot of people in chat, so they probably can answer it for us.
It's just kind of quintessentially British, isn't it? So that was something I wanted to latch on to.
BPP, Defo does.
Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Oh, thank you. Oh, but that fits for like a pier. Of course, it's Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So I do love the. What's this? It's a Gerstauer. Eurofighter. It's got corner. I know these guys. I know these ones. Looks a bit like a 320, but it's not exactly.
It is, yeah. It's based on the 320 plus, and so I made the joke that I called this one a 320 minus because it's a poor attempt at one. But again, I nearly swore then. I'm a terrible coaster builder.
This is an 18 plus stream, and
I'm terrible at building coasters.
Yeah, I'm known for my swearing.
So I just spent a lot of time watching the POV on. I actually can't remember where it is now. Adventure Island? Is it something called that? Something like that. And I just copied it and I watched it again and again and again, and I did my best to do it, but it's okay. It's still not great.
I kind of did the same for mine, but I'm gonna show you that quickly after the pop tour of this. I actually did the same with the one I built, like going on POVs. But I actually Gerstlauer actually has the layout on their website. So.
Yes, that's handy.
Let's
because it was around this time I did the video on how to build realistic coasters, which is a hilarious video because I know nothing about building realistic coasters. But I talk about getting the coaster manuals, and because a lot of it is very accessible. If you go on the product manufacturers' websites and stuff.
Yeah. I do love the build theme, building theme, or the half build stuff theme, which is something English parks tend to do with. Here's an apocalypse. Here's a few trucks we.
It's very cheap to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Pharaoh, you never fucking swear, says Rally.
Never.
There's actually a swearo counter. But,
brilliant.
The one where you DM Chacho was brilliant.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's very true. That's pretty much all I do.
Let me just quickly check. Firefly had a few questions too. Do you sometimes start parks and not finish them?
Yes. All the time. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
I mean, I did it the other day. I started building an adventure park just because I felt like it. Whether I'll come back to it, I hope I will. But this one was just for me.
Oh, it's Coaster 2 coming in. That's also a little bit...
Yeah, exactly. Everything feels a bit pointless with starting anything now.
Yeah, and Smiling Oma actually had a question relating to that. If there was something in Planet Coaster 2 that... No, sorry. I'm going to just read her question. That's easier instead of paraphrasing.
Okay.
What will you miss from Planet Coaster 1 if it's not in Planet Coaster 2?
That's a good question. Well, I think it's just fair to say that I'll be very disappointed if we don't get any of the realism stuff in terms of building assets, but I will be amazed if they don't do that because they know, well, they should know how much we all love our realism, those of us that build like that.
Yeah, like transfer tracks.
Yes, exactly.
Did you put anything? Okay, you do. You're right.
I'm very much hoping for transfer tracks. Like they've got to, right? Like they know how much we want them.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot to put on the real-time stream, but I don't think it's mattering too much.
No, it's only a few seconds behind. Yeah. That's okay.
Art shapes. Fireflies would miss art shapes.
Yeah.
Did you find it as hard? Reddy has a question for me. Did you find it as hard as I do to not swear when recording with Mooms? I actually told Moomin that I would put a post-it on the screen saying "Don't swear."
It's true. Really, you do very well.
There we go. And I just love the side of it. And again, it fits nicely within the park. And because you made it yellow, it kind of stands out more.
Yeah. And then my custom ride sign as well, which
I do like.
I was rather happy with. It took me bloody ages.
Oh, putting stuff on these things is horrible.
The hitbox is absurd.
Yeah. I knew. It's a risk, but it paid off.
Oh dear.
Let me see. Oh yeah, this is just the other side of the park. Kind of want to keep the bunker for last. Let's go to this side. Yeah, and just everywhere the backstaging, and even though it's just a few trash bags and stuff. It just fits.
Yeah, but even that, I went to the effort of matching the color of the bins to certainly what I widely know as being the recycling and normal refuse colors for a certain area. I can't remember where.
Nice. Oh yeah, the oldest. So this is the oldest part of the park. If we will
Yes. Yeah.
talk about the lore.
See, you know more than I do, to be honest.
No, I just saw the video because I did research.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your research.
I go back into my customer service mindset, Moomin. As soon as we finish, I turn to the air blue with a torrent of profanity.
Probably cursing my name, to be honest.
Let's see. I'm gonna weave questions in there. So, you kind of answered that one, but is there a park you are working on that hasn't been seen by others? And I think the question by Firefly is more like, is there more coming?
There's nothing more coming at the moment. Well, yeah, there is. In that, so I'm in a very difficult position where a long time ago, I started work on the third part of the no DLC TMTK series. So we had a little Rock Ridge and then Little Treasure Cove, and then obviously it was going to be a 3-parter all along. And I got all the people, and some of them have built their stuff, but most of them know what they're doing. And then obviously we got the announcement, and so now I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this park now, but people have made me stuff, so I'm now in a position where I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. So that's an ongoing thing.
Tricky one.
Yeah, very. Like, I know that I certainly will use the stuff that's been made already for something if I don't make the park, but it's just going to depend on time, really.
Because it takes you an awfully long time to make a series.
Well, exactly. Like, I haven't done any of my building for the park, and that's going to take a huge amount of time. And what doesn't help is one of the creators decided to make a skin for the wrong ride. So,
oh no.
Yes. So, which also puts me in an awkward position because I don't want to not showcase their ride, but then I can't have 2 of the same ride. So the whole thing is just a bit of a mess at the moment. So I'm just ignoring it until I finish Lakeside Vale.
Yeah, or you just do the no TMTK. Oh, it's easy to do no TMTK in Planet Coaster 2, but
Yes.
And the base game at the start of Planet Coaster 2 as well.
Well, indeed. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I loads of time. I really want to make a really good kind of spooky dark ride, like a genuinely scary dark ride. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I've tried so many times, and I've got so many like prototypes of it, and I've got one that's like kind of good, but it's only got like 2 scenes in it so far, and it's just one of those things that I look at it in my menu and I'm like, I just can't be bothered to come back to it.
It's all dark rides are hard.
Yeah, they are really hard.
I know I didn't finish, but I actually skipped the dark ride in the Lakeside Vale I was building.
Mm-hmm.
Good that you said track ride, not dark ride.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I took a long time thinking about the wording of all of the rules to make sure it was accessible to everyone, because, yeah, and even like the amount of coasters I toyed around with, because there are a lot of us that just hate building coasters. So, but I knew that I couldn't have just one coaster as a requirement because it would have upset the people that do like coasters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you put a minimum, you might get a park with just coasters or something, and that wasn't the intention of this series.
Absolutely. But one thing I do really appreciate is because we had specific quantities of things, it meant that recording the spotlights pretty much exclusively has taken the same amount of time, which is really great. Whereas in Lupaku Dis, the recordings could take anywhere from like half an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the part. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Now each one takes me about 40 minutes, which is lovely.
Yeah, it was good timing. Felt like and there we go. The I love about this area is the rocket here.
And I did the drop tower came after the bunker. Just suddenly I needed something to go in that little triangle there, and it just kind of worked.
You took 2 hours on Firefly Spark last year.
Yeah, yes, we actually did. It was the longest one to record, and I think Fireflies was one of the longest ones this time as well.
Yeah. Firefly makes Spark that you get lost in. I don't
honestly don't know how she does it, because it feels like the park is twice as big as it is every single time. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, and then here we have a stage. And probably with a bit of your experience put together.
Yes, yeah. With theatrical experience. I think originally, again, I planned to do some kind of light show with music, but then because when I was doing this series, I don't know how I did it, to be honest. I was making the videos weekly. So I would make the video, release it, get feedback, and then use that for the next one. I was clearly a mad person. Whereas now I record the whole series in advance.
Yeah, that's insane. For the zoo series I'm doing, I'm like 5 episodes ahead. Otherwise, I will get insane.
Well, the last thing you want is to get stressed about it, because then, stress doesn't lead to good building.
I do appreciate. There's something no, that's not 100% true. In Dutch parks, this wouldn't be that prominently. I think it would be more an integrated show building or something.
Yeah, it's not a super common thing over here, and that was it. It was more, I had the raised platform and I wanted to put a ride on it, but the pathing just would not happen. So I just had to think of something else to put there. So went with the stage, but yeah, I think it looks nice.
Well, that makes it, that helped the creative, but it helps the creative juices flowing. I think for me at least, Blanco is also 50% problem solving, being creative and problem solving.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
I want this here, this doesn't work, how can I fix that? How can I fix that stupid pathing that just doesn't want to fit the way I want to?
Absolutely. That's why that plant is there, I think, to cover some kind of mix-up.
Yeah. And I'm definitely gonna, who was it yesterday? A casual tycoon who used the temple blocks to fill up the holes, and I was like, that's a great idea. And I said to Firefly, oh, that's a great idea for the future. And Firefly was like, yeah, but Blanco 2 doesn't work like that. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We don't need to do it anymore, but there we go.
So here we have a KFC and a Starbucks.
I was very happy with these, actually. And this stuff was very heavily reference based, so wanted to get the textures and the materials exactly right to make it look real, and yeah, I think it does. It's their style, basically. Yeah, especially these Starbucks with the black brick and the wood.
Yeah, exactly. Is that normal in parks? My park reference isn't that big. I've just been a massive amount of times to Efteling, so is that normal in British parks to have like?
No, I don't think it is. No? I think if they do, they probably cover it up with their own custom branding. But probably isn't. But I just knew I could make it, and it would look attractive, and people would go, "Wow, look, it's a KFC and a Starbucks." So, and then obviously we've got the Weatherspoons as well.
Yeah, that's over here. JD Weatherspoons. Yeah, people tend to put these in parks now. As you will see in the upcoming video from Moomin, which gave me quite a laugh.
Yeah, got that to look forward to.
Who was that? That was
Pyrotexical.
Oh yeah, Pyrotexical.
With a lovely portrait of me in the entrance.
I always tend to put a carousel as well in my parks. They're hardly ever visited, but
yeah. Well, this I think I showed in the first episode. I did the path layout first, and it included this plaza, so it was planned very early on.
Winder says you wouldn't get a spoons. Oh, there's a KFC in Fort Park.
Oh,
and you wouldn't get a spoons in here because they couldn't afford to operate with their prices.
They are way too affordable.
That's the only thing I know about it, and that they're horrible to their employees, apparently.
Apparently.
Station again. Little ice cream shop the exact way a cheap park like this would have a square box where you just put an employee in to sell stuff.
Yeah, and then I reused this in Radar Valley as well.
There's some more. Is this backstaging or no? Oh, well,
Yes.
I love this sign. The sun.
Whiz bang.
Did you? No, that's a piece of the game, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. I guess Tiki Tiki sign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, there's a little piece of green sticking out here.
Yes. Don't point out my mistakes, Fire.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I love these to go on the Enterprises.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on one. I'm not sure how I'd do on those.
Well, you only go forward, so it's not that bad with the spinny stuff.
Yeah.
Again with the toilets, and now my favorite part of the park, Funland.
Funland. Yeah, this is based on. I was building this the same time that Alton Towers brought in those flat rides to fill space. So
Yeah.
Based on that.
This was the revelation for me that you can make the pathing around it go away, and now it looks like a real ride.
Yes. Thank goodness for the black asphalt that blends with the path.
Yeah, how didn't they do that earlier? But again, Blanker 2 wouldn't be a problem.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness, we're so excited for paths.
Yeah, we're excited about pathing. That's where we are now. Yeah, I really love this. I think I need to go to the back. I made the generators just in the middle, smack down in the middle.
Yeah, they just don't care, and the speakers are on just on a pole. Just job done.
Should be. But if you go to the back here, I'm not sure if this is oh yeah, you're to the right then. You even have parking for the carnival people.
Yes, yeah, that's their little campground for the traveling fair.
I seem to remember that you built this RV for something else.
Yes, I have a video on my channel from a long time ago called Enter the Game, which is when it is a coaster that goes through various video games, and that one is the RV from the Walking Dead game. Very niche, I know, but there we go.
Every Planko playing person, the first time in Planko 2, going to make a nature park with only paths. It's Firefly. Yeah, I just love this area just because it looks so cheap and put down, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect place for those vintage rides because they do just look so temporary.
So this park actually took you 10 weeks, then 9 weeks, 8 weeks, something
which is mad, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Here we have the overpower. Oh, you made a lovely sign for this one as well, which is all the way to the other side.
Yes, with the secret bit that drops down behind it as well.
Well, you left it open for the...
I did. Rolling Tide of Doom.
Rolling Tide of Doom.
Yes, that was one of my community who sadly isn't active anymore, but she decided it should be Rolling Tide and then in brackets of Doom. So I added that bit that slips down and you can move that as a separate piece.
This is actually smart. This is the eye probably copied over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the mini top spin.
Yeah, exactly. The frame there. Hey, Ray.
Ray, your spotlight is the next one I need to edit. Thanks for reminding me.
Do you like editing?
I do now that I use DaVinci Resolve. It's so much quicker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not so bad now. I can normally get a spotlight done in just over an hour or so.
Okay. Yeah, I use Movavi, but it's okay.
And then yes, this one has custom fountains triggered.
The sprinkler there was why it was sitting here.
Which was very time consuming.
Yeah, I know, especially on a flat ride where you don't really have like those markers you could put down.
No, it's all time based.
But again, a water treatment plant.
Of course, because it's me.
You can't even fall in. There we go.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah, I think I said in the episode I don't know how accurate that would be for a top spin, but I think it looks nice. So that's all that matters, isn't
Yeah. How accurate is it, Ginge?
it? Tell us.
Ginger actually, when Blanco 2 was announced with the water parks, Ginger is actually researching already how water parks work and stuff.
Okay, there we go.
I have to say that you do very well with your video editing, Moomin, says Scarlett. Even my fiance was impressed, and he majored in media and loves to pick videos apart.
Oh wow! Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for a very long time, but one thing I'm grateful for is I feel like I have like an intuition for where a cut should be, which I think is very important in editing. I think a lot of people leave way too much in. Like a certain person who released an hour and 40-minute video on Planet Coaster 2. But I think everything should be concise and know what needs to be there, what doesn't. I hate listening to my own voice anyways, which I love cutting myself out. When I'm with a guest, it's even better because I can just cut myself and only leave what's necessary. So,
and isn't the YouTube sweet spot 20 minutes?
Absolutely. Like and I agree. Like when I'm normally what I'll do is if I'm having breakfast, I'll put a YouTube video on. So I don't want anything longer than 20 minutes. That's like the ideal time.
Ginger reacts, close enough. Don't put me under pressure with Blanco royalty.
Well, I've had a very brief look at Ginger's park for Lakeside Vale, and I'm very excited to look at all the stuff that I know that he's done for his realism and the inner workings of various rides and stuff.
So I do have a question, and I don't know how that feels for you. Then you don't have to answer this one if you don't feel like it. Okay. You're in this community famous, to say so, and how does that feel for you? Is it awkward? Is it?
No, not at all. Because I don't feel it.
Okay.
It's every milestone I get to with my channel. I've never got to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm a big deal now. Like I still feel tiny, and I know it's weird because like I remember when I would be like with a few subscribers, and then I would look at people with maybe 10,000 subscribers and I'm like, oh my god, they're enormous, they're huge, and then I got to 10,000, like I'm nothing, and then it's still going to go up and up like that, I think. So I just think I'm just some guy who plays video games, and I'm very grateful for the people that do support me, but I'm still just a guy playing video games.
Yeah, that's great. Don't mean it. Okay, I didn't mean it like that. Well, good that you feel that way, by the way. But I sometimes have the idea, and it happened to me quite a few years ago when I was working a certain festival, and everybody knew me from that festival, and they were starting to treat me differently, and I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean it's always flattering, but in the same way, like when I go into watch a Twitch stream for Planet Coaster, I don't automatically assume that someone knows who I am. I just go into it blind and like I am with anyone else, and so it's always nice when people say nice things, but I'm just a very modest person anyway.
I think that's also a tip from me, by the way, for the people who might think that it's everybody's just a person. You can just talk to them, ask them. If they don't have the time, they don't have the time, but don't put them on the pedestal for. So now we're here at the bunker, and now we need to change a few things around because.
I sincerely hope the audio works because
I mean tested a little bit. Okay. So I pushed the reset button to be sure. So let me open. So this is one of super original idea. It's a walkthrough instead of a like a dark ride.
Yes.
So
yeah, I don't know why I went with this, but I did.
I think we don't have in-game audio at the moment, so let me just.
And I will say that Andy Pollard, who did the voiceover for this, is a big part of making it work.
Was that just a friend, or did you know them already?
Yeah, he was an actor from a tour but I toured with him for about 3 years, I think. So I knew him very well, and he was the lead in the show that we toured. And he was very nice enough to say that he would voice this, and he also voiced a character in A Matter of Time as well.
Nice. Was Matter of Time was after this, right?
Yes, yeah. I created that for the Channel 5 poster contest, I think, something like that.
Oh, okay. Can everybody hear the sounds? I think so. All right. Yes, it's Firefly. Okay. Just checking before I start the whole thing and. Okay, so this is the walkthrough. We're gonna just shut up. Now I
believe
get
it's
to
the
tell
one.
you, Moomin, to shut up.
So I think it's the one on the outside, in the booth outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so, if I remember rightly. Because then it'll open the door for you as well. So one of them should be the reset, and then one should be the start. And you want to be nighttime as well for this.
Nope. Oh, this one maybe. There's the reset one. Oh, yeah, want to be nighttime.
No, I click that.
Start. Okay. So Moomin makes me shut up every time we do a coaster. So now, Moomin.
I'll be quiet now.
Oh, that's it. Let's enjoy this.
Hi there. My name is David, but my friends call me Farmer Dave. Well, that's if I had any friends. I've been down here for quite some time. I've owned Worthington Farm since the very beginning. Back when all this was just fields. Well, I suppose you're all here because you've heard about the imminent threat of total nuclear annihilation. They all laughed at me 20 years ago when I started building this place, but look at me now, Mum. Anyway, less chit-chat. Let's get you chosen few down into the bunker. There's a lift just ahead that'll take you down. This is probably a good time to take a look around you. These are the people you're going to be spending the rest of eternity with. Let's hope you all get along. Before we continue, it's very important that we get you all decontaminated. The bunker is a sterile environment from this point on, and we must ensure it stays that way. So it's about time I came clean. I'm not really a farmer. I'm a scientist, engineer, mastermind, if you will. One thing that is very real is the threat of nuclear detonation by me. It dawned on me. What's the point of wiping out the face of the earth if no one's there to observe it? Oh, and that decontamination chamber. Consider yourselves irradiated. But don't worry, you'll survive. Just long enough to witness my masterpiece in action.
Missile launch in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
What's happening? Why has it stopped?
David Smith, this is Kate Jones, MI5. You are under arrest.
You'll never take me alive. You think I'd build a bunker without a secret escape route? Better luck next time.
Hostages, if you can hear me, there's some sort of transport system at your location. Hop on and I'll get you out of there.
Okay, maybe we need to talk. Do I need to activate this myself? Or?
Yeah, so you have to just
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
if you ride it, and then you have to then manually go back to the final station.
Not exactly miles. It's the whole ride. Okay. Very impatient man.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a nice little detour to go around Rocket.
Yeah, I just thought it would be a nice thing that they would do halfway around, because I often find in these walkthrough experiences, like the dungeons, they'll often have like a very small track ride element or like water element.
So, where do I go now?
And then just follow where we just went with the track ride.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah. Okay, there we go. Oh, then I probably need to push a button? Yeah.
Yes, it's the one on the outside, yeah.
Great, you're almost there. There's a lift up ahead. That'll bring you back to the surface.
Super novel idea, this.
Just step into the chamber and we'll get rid of that radiation in no time.
And you get free showers.
Exactly.
Welcome back. It's great to see you all alive. Anyway, can't stick around. We've got a terrorist to catch.
Bye. There we go. And I think we kind of got the whole park.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a beautiful park. The simplicity works for it, so that makes it really. Yeah, 17.5K. I kind of knew.
KR, to answer your question, and Dadapo, yeah, if you are hearing impaired, I believe the bunker video on my channel is subtitled, so but let me know if not. I don't think I have the original script, but I can transcribe if it's required.
That's nice. Yeah, the bunker video, you made a separate video and watched the tour video and you're like, sod it, I already showed this thing twice, I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I want to do something else. And because this is a series about parks that inspired me, I want to show you the park that I built, that was inspired by this park.
Let's do it.
Yes, that's just for the fun of it. And so, welcome back, Moomin.
Welcome back, me.
Moomin? Oh, wait, Moomin is talking to me, but I turned the volume down on my headset. That's it.
Hello.
I was like, oh. So yeah, this is the park I started right after finding Worthington Farm, so I kind of wanted to show you that. 'Cause I'm like, this is what you inspired people to make.
God, I shouldn't be inspiring anybody. It's dangerous. But this looks fantastic.
That's not true. This, I finished it way later, but there's still a few. It was when I just started Planko, so.
Yeah, I love that drainage pipe between the.
Yeah, that's
the
typically
road.
Dutch.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. No, I was like, okay, then I need to build surroundings as well. So I built a Dutch, typical Dutch farm. I have the fields and everything.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
No concept of how to terrain.
I don't think I still know how to terrain properly.
And then over here, there's park. So this is based on that park I told we took the kids to. So that's kind of.
That's a fantastic vista from there.
Look at little, but that's building the surroundings is just a Moomin ripoff. That's building a parking lot as well. The only thing I did was making a more Dutch parking lot, and everybody just parks on grass.
I think it's fair to say that what you did back there with the guests crossing the zebra crossing is a fairly complex thing to do seamlessly. It really pays off in just looking really natural.
Oh, thank you. The zebra path is sticking out a little bit, but it's fun to see how inexperienced I was at that point. So yeah, if you compare this to Worthington Farms, it's the same idea. Just very simple buildings with a few art shapes stick to it. Like I went with the same cheap theming idea.
Well, loving the color scheme as well. That's reflected in the art shapes and the coaster.
Well, the whole park is blue and orange. That's also what I stole from Worthington Farms. I have a bike rack. That
of course.
I found on the workshop, and I didn't know what blueprints exactly were, so I thought it was Team TK, but it wasn't. So.
Well, what Dutch park would be complete without a bike rack?
Exactly, that was what I was thinking. We go in and it's really...
Bye, Scarlet.
Oh, bye, Scarlet. This is not really just... Again, the backstaging, same thing, trash bags. A bin apparently in the middle of the... And just, like what I said, just have a paint bucket and make everything fit the theme. That's...
Exactly, it's exactly what a budget park would do. But you've not like shied away from doing like fun angles and creating facades. And yeah, it's still pretty advanced stuff for what is, I assume, one of your first parks.
Yeah, the start was being one of my first parts. I think. Yeah, there's one other horrendous one that we're not gonna look at, but I also have a train ride.
Of course.
But that's 100% stolen from Worthington Farms, because the one I based this on I didn't have a...
I'm sensing a theme. But you got a playground. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I needed to be original somewhere. But
of course.
Oh, a carousel.
Oh, look at that.
But I got the same idea, like putting stuff just on tarmac and have a few barriers or something around it.
Yeah.
I think the barriers are preventing people from wanting to go in, but...
Who doesn't want to go on a carousel?
We have a little coaster here, so the park I based this on... the game is really loud, give me a second. The park I've based this on actually has built their own coaster. So it's a really unique, weird-ass thing. And I kind of wanted to make a unique... And I didn't know anything about building coasters. And then the game froze. Oh, there we go. And the reason I was inspired to show you this is because I see a lot of people emulating Moomin stuff.
Well, that's very sweet.
And I think you have a real have had a real influence on the community.
Stop it, Ferrari. You'll make me actually emotional, and I'm supposed to be dead inside.
No, but I'm actually serious. So that's yeah.
Well, that's very sweet. To have any impact on the Planet Coaster community means a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, this. I mean, it's just rides placed in, and then really
Yeah,
bad
but
terraforming.
it's a great ride to go there though.
Yeah. Ooh, it's stuttery. Oh, there it is. But again, the backstage is same idea. Just
Yeah.
getting everything.
Always have the backstage gate slightly ajar.
Yeah. And here, you were the one that actually, because I watched Whirling the Farms, because before Planet Coaster stuff, I never realized how coasters worked and stuff. And I was like, oh, a transfer track, which this coaster wouldn't have. But I was like, just build this.
Oh well.
Arcade.
Yeah.
I think you don't have arcades, but I think I was starting to watch Chacho videos.
Yes, I was going to say I shied away from interiors for a long time because they require so much, and yeah, Chacho just nailed it from the very beginning. And Chacho was the person that inspired me really to start doing YouTube. So there we go.
I might have Chacho on for a tour as well.
Ooh.
If we...
Well, just everybody pay attention. I'm much better than Chacho, okay?
The problem only is that getting Chacho to respond to stuff. But
Okay. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so this is basically based on your... well, the interiors, maybe that's Chacho stuff, because
yes,
in the park that I based this on, they actually have this indoor playground that if it's really shitty weather, the parents can still sit and have the children play.
yes.
So that's based on this. Like you have food and you have an indoor thing, and then the indoor playground. I've been to so many of these with kids.
That looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. It's way out of scale, but still.
No, it looks fantastic. I love the little stage as well.
Yeah, like for a kids entertainer, they have that too there. Probably him. I don't know.
Yes.
No Chach who says Rally. So
Nerd Chachu indeed.
yeah.
Some guy.
But this is what your work did and inspired me to build. So I wanted to quickly show you. Just
Well,
write it down here.
thank you very much for showing me.
Yeah. And the car ride. It's more decorated.
Of course. Well, I would say a lot of this is much better than Worthington Farms, so you outdid yourself.
And then, but also I think what your series taught me is also get stuff out of real life. Like if you look at this or use it as inspiration. So I built a beach that they actually have at that park.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah,
uses
I think
it, but
people are scared of building outside what they should be building in Planet Coaster. And that moment that you have that thought in the middle of the day and you're like, ooh, I could build this in Planet Coaster. Just do it.
yeah.
Have fun. Do it.
I think I was building water parks before water parks were cool, so I'm proud of that.
Well, there we go. Where is the OG?
And of course the pedal boats that I found on STTMTK. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for coming. I think we're kind of already talked out. Ginge said, as I said earlier, Moomin seeing your park. Oh, Moomin seeing your parks. Emphasis the other way. Maybe realized it was okay to build realistic British budget and nav stuff, like the parks I worked in for many years.
Well, that's very sweet again.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I had that impact on you because the stuff you build now is insane. And I'm very excited to see what you've done in Lakeside Vale.
Yeah. I think that's what I tried to say at the start. It opened up so much of a different perspective on Planet Coaster. You're still just building a park, which is the premise of the game. But because you said, okay, but you can also build simple stuff and it can look good, is what I think inspired a lot of people to.
Yeah.
Well, we've toured at least 2 parks for the current video. That was like, I see which videos this person is watching.
Yeah, it is. It does become clear. But I think circling back to the question you asked me earlier, I think something that keeps me very grounded is when my colleagues at work say, "Oh, you do YouTube. So what do you do?" And I'm just like, I build pretend theme parks in a video game, and people watch them and they just look at me blankly, and I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, that's
what am I doing?
trying to explain that is really, really hard. I know it's the same with Twitch.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I did this. Oh, okay. Okay, nice for you.
Yeah, no. Cool, I guess. So there we go. I'm happy that we're in this weird little community and we enjoy what we do. And
it's
yeah,
a
let's
very
keep doing it.
good community. There's hardly
Very.
any toxicity in this community. So that's
Yeah.
And if there
I
is,
agree.
it's big news. So
yes, definitely.
So
no, this has been great.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna leave you to your night because
Thank you.
You have plans, and this was very fun. Thank you very much for coming along.
No, I thank you for asking me to come along, and hopefully we can do something again soon.
Yeah. Well, one more thing.
No,
not exactly one more thing. I'm gonna check the questions I got to make sure.
Ask
Firefly
away.
asked, "What was your favorite real-life park?" We didn't cover that, but you haven't been too much. So.
No, I don't think I can really answer that question.
And have you been to the Efteling, and why not? So that's a very Dutch question.
No, but I will. So there we go.
And if you go to the Efteling, please DM me.
I will. I'll let you all know.
I think that's about it. So I'm gonna wrap up with you, and then talk to you soon, hopefully.
Yes. No, thank you very much, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the stream, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.